What up, Trails of Cold Steel fans? You're now in tune to another session of Pondering Wind. I'm the East Wind, and what I want to talk about here real quick is the recent news of Falcom CEO stating that he wants to make Trails of Cold Steel 3, or he's thinking about making Trails of Cold Steel 3 exclusive to PS4. Now, I found out about this over on Gamatsu. So, you know, if you're a fan and you don't know the whole story, you can check it out on Gamatsu. But for me, for Winds of the Far East, technically this is a gaming politics issue. And it really should be a gaming politics episode of Winds of the Far East. But because I just want to briefly touch on it, for in support of the PS Vita users that are basically, or were, I don't know the status of the article over there on Gamatsu now. I saw it yesterday. So the PS Vita users were mad, as they rightfully should be. I mean, when it comes to Japan, a lot of people try to argue that Japanese gamers have moved to the PS4. Not too long ago, there was some type of article or news or whatever that said that PS4 sales in Japan had jumped a little bit. That's not enough to alienate the handheld gamers that have supported your game. So this Pondering Wind session, I will be directing it directly at Falcom. Like, I like Falcom. I'm one of the Trails of Cold Steel fans that bought the limited edition version for the PS3, and I'll do the same for part 2. Now, two things. For me, I'll follow up with what I want to state. Firstly, I want to talk about the PS Vita users. If you are a PS Vita gamer that is a fan of Trails of Cold Steel, your statements that you put on that Gamatsu article are a start. Now, a lot of people would probably recommend or say to you, like, start a petition. But from everything I've seen with previous petitions, aside from the Dark Souls one that, you know, a lot of PC gamers came out, and that's the reason. But it was more than that. It was more than the petition. They did the petition, but constantly bombarding From Software with tweets and all the, I think they would put comments on the Facebook and all. They were everywhere that the developer was or the publisher was. So that's the same thing you have to do. You have to be vocal about it. If you have a Twitter, you know, tweet at Falcom and tell them that you want the game on PS Vita, because what this comes down to is it's like you have to fight to give these publishers money now. To the Falcom CEO, I will be directing this at Falcom, like I said. Just because, hey, get a translator, man. Like, I really hope that, you know, they put their consumers first, man. Like, so like I said, if you have a Twitter at Falcom Japan, or what, I don't know. I think they only have a Falcom Japan Twitter account. So at them that you want Trails of Cold Steel 3 on PS Vita. Because what this comes down to, as far as from my perspective goes, what this comes down to from my perspective is the quota of how many PS4 consoles has been slightly exaggerated, maybe super exaggerated. It's sold, but I don't think it's sold as many as they claim it's sold. But for Falcom, listen, and even to just fans of Trails of Cold Steel, like, listen, what I'm about to say is 100% objective. and it's coming from a long-time PlayStation fan. And it's gonna be controversial. But, you know, Winds of the Far East would not be what it is or what it represents if I didn't state this. I'm not showing any type of bias, man. And I don't care if I get hate for this or not. The truth hurts, man. So, with PlayStation 4, a lot of developers, a lot of publishers are making games exclusive to this platform. Japanese developer wise or Japanese publisher wise. And it's not a smart move. If I'm in the boardroom, just like I've said previous times before, if I'm in the boardroom with those suits, if I'm on the board of directors, and it takes, let's just say, for instance, I don't know how it actually works, but let's just say it's the equivalent of a jury, and it takes 12 people to determine a verdict. I'm gonna leave it as a hung jury. I'm not gonna agree to what let's make it exclusive to PlayStation 4. That doesn't make sense to me. So it's gonna be a hung jury until I can convince the other board members to do as I see it, as what's best for the consumer, and the best possible way, or the most logical way that they would actually make a profit, is by making it available to all active platforms to which the game has been released on previously. So for me, just like for Pirate Warriors 3 and Attack on Titan, it was made available for PS4, PS3, and PS Vita. You're maximizing your profit this way. By isolating it to the PS4, you are basically setting yourself up for a failure as far as sales go. Now, I don't know, this was my thing after the PS Vita users. I bought it on PS3, brand new. I don't know the sales. Apparently, the sales wasn't what they expected, because PS3 is not even mentioned in the two available platforms that it was, or that they had picked for Trails of Cold Steel 3 to be released for. Now that's disappointment on my part, because, you know, like I said, I bought the game, I bought Trails of Cold Steel brand new, and I'll be buying part 2 brand new. But to alienate your consumer base is ignorant. Like, that's pure ignorance. Because, like I said, that money. To what I want to say about PS4. PS4, unlike the previous versions of PlayStation, was exclusively made or tailor-made. The controller, how they presented it, it is made for FPS players. No one can argue with that. It came out of Cerny's mouth himself. It's been written that is who the target demographic for PS4 was. Never has PlayStation been a specific genre of a game console. It's always been a diverse console. You know, you could play it aside from FPS, because PlayStation has always been Japanese centric, and this is kind of going off into another area. It's a whole nother topic altogether, but it's always been a Japanese centric console. There was no FPS games were not promoted for PlayStation consoles. You know, we were the fighter, JRPG, hack and slash, action adventure, strategy RPG, you know, and a whole bunch of other Japanese-esque game console. PS4 is not that. So my question to Falcom is, how do you expect Trails of Cold Steel 3 to sell on a console that is specifically tailored to one game genre? And that game genre is not of a Japanese origin. Most people would say just like, yo, Trails of Cold Steel is a niche title. So, like I said, man, if you are a PS Vita fan of Trails of Cold Steel, if you don't have a Twitter, get a Twitter. You know, nobody says you gotta follow everybody. Just tweet at Falcom to at least make Trails of Cold Steel 3 available on PS Vita. Y'all can do that. Otherwise, they just setting the game up for failure. Like I said, I don't know the numbers it did for PS3, but if they consider it a flop, how much worse is it gonna be for PS4? And my thing is this, before I wrap this up, man, like, why is Falcom so intent on making it exclusive to PS4? Now, I've read some of the comments on Gamatsu, and some of them were saying like, yeah, they wanted to, you know, do more advanced things. How so? How much more advanced is Trails of Cold Steel 3 going to be over Trails of Cold Steel and Trails of Cold Steel 2? That's my thing, because if it's going to be the exact same presentation wise, then why are they trying to make it exclusive to PlayStation 4? It could still run on PS3 and PS Vita. Unless they are trying to go like a Heavy Rain route and or render these highly detailed characters and overly advanced super techniques and all these type of things, there's no need for them to be so intent on making it exclusive to PlayStation 4. That's what I gotta say about that. It's crazy when it's a scenario like this, because like I said, man, I rock with Falcom, man. I bought Trails of Cold Steel new because I wanted to support them. And you know, I'm a fan of turn-based traditional JRPGs, and that's exactly what Trails of Cold Steel is. So, yo, it's sad to me, man, but like, I'm not gonna go out and buy a PS4 just for Trails of Cold Steel Part 3. It's not gonna happen. I'm content with my PS3. You know what I'm saying? So it's too much to get into as far as PS3 versus PS4. I don't want to get off topic. So to wrap this up, PS Vita users, like I said, man, if you're a fan of Trails of Cold Steel, get a Twitter, get at them on Facebook if they have a Facebook, but at them, like, you know, hashtag it. PS Vita users want TOC S3, you know, something like that. And you know, they gotta hear you, because this is the thing, if you're not vocal about what you want, they're never gonna know. You know what I'm saying? A petition is cool. It'll show them that there is a group of people out there that want the game. But it's also like, it's quiet. People sign a petition and then that's it. It's no longer active in terms of, you know, continuous, like on Twitter you could continuously say, Falcom, please make this available on PS Vita. You can continually hashtag whatever hashtag y'all come up with. And at some point they gotta acknowledge it. Falcom, I don't take Falcom to be a publisher that just ignores their fan base or their supporters. They'll acknowledge you at some point. You have to do it before they set Trails of Cold Steel 3 in stone as a PS4 exclusive. Y'all can do it, man. PS Vita users, unite. So with that being said, as always, thanks for listening. Peace.